Hi everyone, this is Jamel Thompson. I'm not a lawyer. I've never taken a bar. I'm not qualified to give legal advice. There's no guarantees on the information that I'm about to give you. In fact, no lawyer on the planet can give you a guarantee because that's actually against the law. So I want to start off today by talking about traffic tickets. Traffic tickets is something that's plaguing our communities. It's one of the easiest ways to end up on probation and dealing with a lot of different issues, even though you haven't really done much of anything, if you have done anything against any law or rule. That's what this video is about. The first thing I want to talk about is when an officer pulls you over admitting guilt. We assume what the officer is pulling us over sometimes, and we blabber that out of our mouths. For example, officer says, "Do you know why I stopped you?" And you say, "I was speeding." Well, the way that I usually respond is, if an officer is asking me, "Do you know why I stopped you?" I say, "I assume that you believe that I broke some type of rule that you're about to tell me about." So let's say that using the tactic of being very kind to the officer, being very reassuring to the officer that you weren't intentionally trying to break any traffic law, it was an honest mistake or whatnot. Maybe the officer doesn't allow you to get away with getting a ticket, so he gives you a ticket. So you get this ticket. The ticket will have a code on the side of it that tells you what the officer is charging you with, what violation. This code is very important because it has the elements of the crime. The elements of the crime is the actual elements that they will use to determine if you're guilty of the ticket or not once you get to court. So you have to know what the elements of the ticket is. So you look that up once you find out. Second is you will receive a hearing on your ticket. So during that hearing, you have options. I don't want to go into all of those options. That would make this video about 15-20 minutes, and I wanted to stay within the parameter of 7 to 10 minutes. So I would like to go straight into the proceedings. The actual hearing is kind of like a trial by jury, except there is no jury. It's just you're going in front of a judge. You still have a right to testify, you have a right to cross-examine, you have a right to subpoena witnesses and to provide evidence to the court. Okay, so the evidence standard is a lot different from trial as well. The evidence standard in trial is a reasonable doubt, which creates, a thing in your favor. But in a traffic ticket, the preponderance of evidence is the standard. And with the preponderance of the evidence, for example, the officer is proving that he is an officer, so, his word weighs a little more than yours. He actually has some kind of technological evidence there, whether it be a radar reading, laser reading, a computer, or his camera that's showing you in the act of what allegedly you done. Also, his certifications as an officer, because officers have to have certain certifications, and once in Georgia, I know that with those certifications, the officer you can be convicted off of the officer's word if he has certain certifications, particularly visual estimate certified tracking history certification. If he has that certification, he can get you with that. So once the officer provides his preponderance of the evidence, is on you to counter that with evidence to mitigate whatever it is that you're saying occurred, if you want to try to fight the ticket so that you don't get points put on your insurance. Points put on your identity, because if you get points put on your driver's license, that could raise your insurance or could get your license suspended. If your license is suspended, how are you going to get to work? It's a catchy situation. So if you had 1 or 2 traffic tickets, this third traffic ticket might be crucial to you to try to fight it, or so to speak. So some of the things that you would want to provide as your evidence is you would want to know the tracking history that the officer is using. The tracking history is like the plus or minus 5 points within the speeding, if it's a speeding ticket. So if the officer is saying that at this location on this day you were speeding, or plus 5 tracking history of the speeding limit, then you can get an actual Google Map estimate of that location to see what the speeding is in that area. You know, what type of stuff is in that area, like if it's some guardrails, if it's towers, electrical things that could throw off the reading of the radar, so that you can show that it's a possibility that it was inaccurate. And if it's a possibility that it's inaccurate, 9 times out of 10 the judge is going to throw it out. No, let me not say 9 times out of 10. In some cases the judge would throw it out. Some other evidence that you may want to have is, you know, you can download a radio frequency band sheet. This shows the different things that makes the radio frequency go up or down, so that you can actually use your Google Map to say, hey, this right here, guardrails, make the frequency go down. And this is clearly guardrails all the way up and down this side of the street in this area. Number 2, you can ask for the officer certifications. You can ask for the subpoena and copy of the actual officer's video camera that was in his car. There's a lot that you can do to try to put together a case that defends you and makes your statements clear in that regard. It's important for us as individuals to kind of know our rights, because without knowing our rights, then we have no rights, because the court is not in the process of trying to ensure that your rights are protected. The lawyer is there to protect your right, and most lawyers are overworked. They have so many cases they have to deal with because they are pro bono cases that are done for them to keep their bar certification. So they have to do so many pro bono jobs, which means that even if you paid for your lawyer probably has a trial for 5 other people's all week, and he's not going to put the attention into your case that really you would like to have seen happen. So it's good for you to also know your rules. This is all that I have to offer right now in that regard. You can question me on anything if you want to up under the comment section in this video. You're also able to hit me up at my email account, thompsonjamel80@gmail.com. That's THOMPSONJAMEL80@gmail.com. Hit me up, we can talk.